Hey y'all, it's a really early morning. I just fed all the animals and I was coming to check on Frankie, give her her breakfast, and she has a huge cut on her neck, like all the way down to veins. If you don't like blood and gory stuff, then fast forward right now. So here she is, and you can see the big gash on her neck, and it is all the way down to veins, and I don't know. I've already walked the entire pasture looking for blood, looking for a source, looking for feathers. Like maybe there was a scuffle. She has 6-foot high fencing. I don't see any holes when I walk the perimeter. There's no blood on anything. So I'm dumbfounded right now. Part of me feels like she may have got caught on something, but once again, there's no feathers or any blood. So now I'm wondering if a predator did get in here and get a bite out of her. I don't know, y'all, but super concerned. And yeah, I honestly don't know what to do. So I do have some medication here, like blue coat and things like that I'm gonna go ahead and clean it, rinse it out, get it as good as I can get it, and probably put something on it so it doesn't get infected. And then we'll have to get a oh man, y'all see how bad that looks? We'll have to get a vet out here for sure. So that's a better view of it, and it's like all the way through. I just don't understand. That is really bad, y'all. Oh man. All right, let me figure this out, do the things I just said I was going to do, and then I'll get right back with y'all. Alrighty, y'all, here's my septic powder, but it specifically says do not use in deep wounds or punctures. So I'm not going to use this. I have some bandage though. I'm gonna cover it, clean it out with some alcohol, cover it, and then go from there. So this is what I mean when I say always stay prepared. We have this on site. I'm about to clean it out, clean the wound out with water, and I'm gonna dilute it with alcohol and wrap it, and pay close attention to Frankie today to see how she's doing, and definitely get in contact with a vet. Alrighty, here's my diluted spray. Just trying to get close enough to Frankie. Normally, if I rub her, she lays down. There we go. There we go. I know. See, there's some blood on her right there. So I only have one hand, y'all, so I'm gonna try to figure this out. I think the next part might be a little gory, and probably painful with the alcohol. So I'm not gonna film that part. I'm gonna be right back with y'all. I got it cleaned out. And as you can see, if I could get close to her, because she was pretty freaked out, I put this bandage around it after I got it cleaned out. Still going to monitor her. She seems herself, but it just looks bad, y'all. I don't have a good feeling right now. When I ran to get the supplies, when I got back in there, some of her feed was all in her throat area. So I was originally thinking to myself, like, did she just go dump her neck in her feed? Like, how did that happen? And then it hit me that she ate, and the food you can see as it's going down to her stomach, which lets me know that she must have ripped her esophagus or whatever the tube is called that goes to her stomach. So I mean, it's one thing for the skin to have to heal over, but that's an organ. I'm not sure how that works. Definitely going to get a vet out here so we can see what we need to do. Really concerned, y'all. I just got home for the evening, y'all. And once again, I've checked the entire perimeter. I just put this up on the fence. I don't see anything over here on the fence. line that has feathers or blood or skin on it. I've walked the entire perimeter, y'all. Same thing in the house, you know. So I've walked the perimeter of the house. I've looked everywhere. I don't see anything that is leading me to believe that there was a struggle of some kind or that something happened. So I don't know, y'all. I don't know what's going on. But we are definitely concerned. And we are having a really hard time trying to find a veterinarian in our area that treats emus, which anytime you get animals that aren't the norm, you run that risk. So we're still trying. So for now, we're doing all we can to keep it clean until we either see Frankie on the mend and or we can find a veterinarian. I have reached out to some other YouTube channels to see if they had any recommendations, like channels that I know have emus. So still waiting to hear back. So I'm trying to get close to Frankie now in order to clean the wound and rewrap it, but she knows what time it is. She wants nothing to do with it. So I'm having a hard time getting close to her so that I can even try, because she moves away, and the closer I get, the faster she moves away from me. So watch this, I'm gonna speed up, and she may even try to jump the fence if she feels cornered. So, see. Oh man. Oh, it does not look good, y'all. I'm not gonna show what it looks like now because it actually looks worse. And it's pretty graphic. I don't want y'all to see that. But clearly I'm gonna have to put the camera down to even attempt to try to get to Frankie to clean it. So let me get to that now. We got Tucker all the way over here trying to check on Frankie. She can tell that something's not right, is what I figure. So I'm trying to help her, Tucker. But yeah, normally if I'm sitting here, she will come lay by me and let me rub on her and just put her head on me and lay down and even fall asleep. So I want to see if maybe by doing that, I could get her close enough for me to try to clean the wound. Hey, Tuck. Came through the fence, huh? You might want to get out of here before Frankie gets down here. I have a sneaking suspicion she's even more so not in the mood today, so just a warning. I know you want to check out our house. It does have an unwelcome sign right there though, so you're entering at your own risk. Come on, Frankie. Come on. So far my plan's not working, but I'm gonna just stay out here until it does. Luckily I was able to get everything covered before the girls could see it. Sahara hasn't even seen yet. It was covered before Egypt could see it. Natalie's right over there taking care of Zeus. But yeah, luckily I was able to get it all covered up before the girls saw it. And what's crazy, y'all, is I literally was just working on the edits for the video that I'm about to upload about Frankie. It's the story of Frankie. And the irony that as I'm editing that video, and that's the video I'm working on planning to upload, that there's an issue. So yeah. Alrighty, y'all, this is like 2 days later, and just wanted to give you this update on Frankie. It's still pretty graphic, but just sharing what's going on. That's what we're doing. We're documenting our life. If this is something you think is too much, then, you know, once again, please watch our previous video, which we actually did a video on getting Frankie all the way through today. But we've been trying our absolute hardest to keep her wound clean. As you can see, she still has, you know, saliva and things like that coming out of her neck through the hole. But we do notice that it's less. There's no blood. and we're doing everything that the vet told us to do. So right now it's really in, you know, God's hand, and we just really want prayers to ensure that Frankie can continue to get on the mend. So about to clean the wound, going to put new bandage on, give her medication, and this is just what we've been doing to do our part, to try our hardest to help save Frankie's life, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yesterday, which I have no video of, she was lying down in the corner over there all day long, literally all day long. And today, she's been up and about all day. I can tell she's not eating. If you watch our past videos, we normally have to fill this twice a day, once in the morning, once in the evening. We haven't had to really touch this, and the food we have added is still at this level. So she's still not eating much. Interesting time on the farm. We have Joy on one side, and we're going through this on the other side. But we're definitely going to do all we can to help Frankie persevere while celebrating the new life on the farm with the baby goats that, you know, once again you can see over there playing. Going on 4 days because this occurred on Friday the 17th, and today's Monday as I film this. So although it appears as if she's eating, she's really not. So here's my routine. I come into her pasture and I sitting down right now, just to try to get her comfortable to come over to me and lay next to me eventually. And we give her vitamin C chewables, which is what she's attempting to eat right now. When you've seen her pecking and it looks like she's eating, what she's really been doing is, you can see the air bubbles coming out the side of her neck because there's a big hole there. Sorry for graphic, but this is our reality right now, what we're trying to help her through. But this will help her recover faster, so the skin and everything grow back. We have this wound spray for bacteria. We also have this wound spray, which is for pain. Of course, we have our wrap, and we have Neosporin. Everything that you see right here was recommended by a veterinarian. We also have other items on the way, and here she comes. We also have other items on the way that we're hoping will assist us as well. But there's the bubbles I was talking about coming out of the side of her neck where the hole is. Under the bandage is the larger hole, and there's a smaller hole right above the bandage where air is escaping and the water she drinks and food and her saliva and everything. So this is what we're dealing with, and just continue to ask for prayers for Frankie. You know, she's probably one of our favorite animals on the farm. What would you say? Yeah. So we're trying to do all we can to help her. Egypt is feeding Frankie grapes, and this is the first time we've seen her eat in probably like 5 days. So finally eating. But just so you can see how bad it is, and it's actually healing. But yeah, still a work in progress. We're just trying our hardest to make sure it doesn't get infected. And that is literally a hole in the side of her neck. On the first day, you could see the food going down her esophagus to her stomach. That's how wide of a hole it is. So it's already starting to close up. We're just trying to make sure we keep it clean. We're using all of the different antibiotics. We have all kind of things, all recommended by a vet, to help us achieve that. We have this Tractor Supply pine shavings that we're going to add in here for Frankie. Frankie sleeps right here a lot of the time, and just to essentially make a little bed for her, we're going to put some pine shaving off in this corner. We've done it inside her house for her as well, But during this time of year, she's sleeping outside. So, and then after that, we're just going to re-bandage her. So we take the bandage off. We clean the entire wound. We have like 3 sprays and 2 ointments. Then we try to rewrap it. And sometimes we let it breathe because that's the advice of the vet. So yeah, still on the journey. It takes a whole lot of patience though, as I'm sure y'all can imagine. We have some shavings for the chickens as well. Just gonna add some more inside their coop here. On the floor there, we put shavings. And we do the deep litter method. So with the deep litter method, whenever your chicken coop begins to smell, that's your dead giveaway that it's time for more shavings. So we'll add the shavings, we'll be good. But yeah, whenever you're trying to help a hurt animal, sometimes they don't always know you're trying to help, and I'm sure it hurts. It's painful depending on the injury or the wound. So Idra, can you close that door, please? So, you know, we so yeah, they don't always know you're trying to help them. So the name of the game since all of this started has been patience. You know, we'll just sit on the ground or hang out on the fence line until Frankie gets close enough and is comfortable with us touching her. And then we'll clean. We might be able to get the bandage off. Then we gotta wait again. Then we'll be able to clean it with water. Then we gotta wait again. Then we'll be able to add some of the different sprays. Then gotta wait again. The ointment gotta wait again. Like, it takes a whole lot of patience, but Frankie's worth it. We love Frankie. We definitely want her to survive. We're trying our hardest to prevent infection because that would just complicate what she's already going through, which I have to be honest with y'all, as optimistic of a person as I am and as Natalie are, I'm surprised she's still alive. I gotta be honest, it was that bad. So we're still praying, have our fingers crossed on that, and we'll see it through. Man, I guess we're going slow. They're already back over here. But we're about to go ahead and do Frankie's really quick. I've spoken in past videos about how curious emus are. So look at Frankie as Egypt's doing this. Frankie's gonna help us mix it. We're just putting it all in this corner. Okay. Just a little bed for you in the corner. All right. Don't y'all be jealous. She got a nice comfy bed. What do you think, Egypt? Think she'll like it. All right, y'all. So the bandage is off. It's probably been off for about 6 hours. Just wanted, you know, the wound to breathe. But I like what I'm seeing. You know, it's definitely healing. There's no more bleeding. It's just old, you know, the dead skin. But if you look at the first video and then of course you look right now, things are getting better. So I would say everything that we're doing, everything the vet told us is working. And y'all, this is really such a blessing. We feel so much better about our situation, about Frankie's situation. Still mind blown on how this happened. But you know, we're just trusting the process, and we have our little medical bucket with everything we need. I'm about to put some more medication on it, put some more of the you know, clean it, put some more of the sprays on it and the ointments, try to get it rewrapped. The hardest part of this whole thing is remaining patient because she's going to run from us and doesn't really realize that we're trying to help her. But I did tell you guys that my grandmother, my mom, and my mother's husband were in town during this time. And the night this happened, we were all knocked out, but my grandma was up in the living room watching her Westerns as usual. And she told Natalie the next morning, or she asked Natalie the next morning, did you hear all of that outside? So something happened. And whatever my grandmother was hearing, we think it had something to do with what happened to Frankie. Definitely plan on putting some cameras out here one day, just so, you know, whether it's Frankie's house, Goatopia, some of the other animal shelters we'll have some Wi-Fi cameras where we'll be able to go back and look at situations or things that happen. I think this was like our push to try to make that a reality. But yeah, thank you all for the messages, the emails, the comments, and the prayers that you've sent since we first posted about this on YouTube. Truly appreciate it, y'all. Y'all, no lie, just to attempt to clean it and get the ointment on and finally get her to calm down and trust me to put the bandage on her neck, about 35 minutes. Whew. Like I said, patience. Ultimate patience. Another thing we noticed is you'll see at the beginning of this video the initial wound. Well, the very next morning when we came out, there was a cut, the part that you see that's not bandaged. And if I could get under her chin, there's like under her chin some things that, like, you see the cut under her chin. Hopefully the camera's capturing that. But she injured herself further. And we don't know if the first one was a predator and maybe the second one looks like she got caught on something in the fencing, because it looked like a poke and then like a rip, like she tried to get out of it. But once again, we walked the perimeter, walked the fences, no obvious sign of a struggle, you know, feathers everywhere, no blood, skin stuck on a piece of fence somewhere, like nothing. So we're honestly at a loss. We still believe that the original injury for sure was a predator, but you know, we feel better now because she's getting better. She's starting to eat now as well. So I'm gonna give y'all an example of what I do. So whenever I want to add a little bit more spray, I just try to get up on Frankie if I could catch up to her, and I just try to give her a little dry. It's like doing a drive-by. It's like a drive-by spray. so that's what I do. That time I couldn't catch her, but that's what I do. I walk the fence line. If she lets me get close enough to her, it's just a little drive-by.